Today, a summer check-in with Drew Commesso with the IceHogs last year. Obviously, had that great run throughout the spring and throughout the playoffs. And that, Drew, great to see you, man. We miss you out here in Rockford. How's the summer going for you?
Summer's going great. Yeah, I miss Rockford a lot. Miss Chicago. It's been a great summer. Playing some golf, hanging with my family, hanging with friends. Working out and skating. So no complaints here. It's been great, but yeah, definitely excited to start getting back on the ice and yeah, start playing some hockey again.
Yeah, how does that work for you as you kind of build out your summer? Do you take the first half of it or a first chunk where it's a little less on ice and you build that back in again? How does that work?
I typically take a little bit of time off the ice. Yeah. I took a few weeks just to get everything moved out, and moved back here. And then, yeah, kind of got into the gym towards the end of May, took a week or two off of that. And then, yeah, just trying to put on some muscle this summer. And then I take a little bit longer time off of the ice just to allow my body to heal. And, yeah, I've been skating for a few weeks now. I've been feeling really good, just getting back into the swing of things with my goalie coach, and then also skating with a great group of guys who all train together. And it's a good mix for me. Having half my skates be specific goalie training where I'm doing specific drills and stuff and getting better that way, and then the other half getting some shots from NHL guys. It's always good to just freshen your eyes and continue to see that in the off season.
Yeah, I would think some guys go home and, you're dying and looking for guys to be able to skate with. That's probably not a problem that you have considering your ties from Mass as a whole, but also BU days as well. Or do you get to kind of link up with people that you played growing up before you turned pro to now all work together during the summer?
It's pretty cool. A lot of us from my BU team trained together at BU, and then
Cool.
I think it was cool for me growing up as a kid, being a Bruins fan. I get to, now train and skate with a lot of those guys too. So yeah, it's cool. We've had kind of the same workout group for the past 2 or 3 years. So it's kind of like your team away from your team a little bit. And yeah, we've all gotten, really close together off the ice, which makes, going into workout and skate every day, really fun. So yeah, I think just I'm super grateful and fortunate that there's so many players that spend summers in Boston that really creates just a great environment on the ice and in the weight room as well.
There's definitely worse places to spend a summer. What are you doing to keep busy other than the gym and the ice rink?
I've been really honing in my golf game.
All
I wish
right.
I was a little bit better than I am right now, but it's been an up and down golf season for me. Yeah, and then just spend a lot of time with my family too. I don't get to see them too much during the season, so it's nice to be able to just drive home. I only live 30 minutes from my house, where I grew up. So it's great to shoot down and see them a few times a week, and then just hang with my buddies around the city, whether it's playing some pickleball, going to the beach, or going on walks or something. Yeah, always trying to find ways to stay busy, which is great. There's a lot of things to do here.
That's awesome. All right, next one I got for you is kind of a two-parter. Now that we're a little removed from the season and the postseason with the Ice Hogs, how have you reflected on this past year and maybe built towards looking ahead to this next year and setting any goals for yourself on coming off what was a really, really great campaign for the team and yourself as a whole, especially that second half?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot. I grew a lot. I feel like looking back at that season, I definitely grew a lot off the ice, I would say, just mentally and maturity wise. It was probably the biggest year of growth for me, and a lot of great aspects. And I think really just for me, it was kind of just dialing in my off ice habits. And I felt like when I started to do that and really hone in after coming back from my injury, which was tough mentally, living alone and being injured and not being able to play for a while. So I kind of told myself I could, take it one or two directions, and I try to be positive and focus on what I could control, and yeah, it allowed the team just to really. I thought, as a team we had a really great end of the year, and especially in the playoffs, I think we all gelled together, and I was just having a lot of fun playing with the guys and really just trying to stay in the moment. You know, it was funny, like towards the end of the regular season, I wasn't really thinking about playoffs at all or really like anything farther than a few days ahead, you know, towards our next game. It was just having a lot of fun with my teammates and you know, that's one of my favorite things I love about, you know, playing in Chicago and playing with Rockford is that everyone's so close and everyone's pretty young where we all gel together and it just makes going into the rink so much easier.
You talk about controlling what you can control, at least in my opinion, that's a lot easier said than done. Is there anything that you've picked up on with your time as a pro or even going further back that ways that you can really hone in on how you're feeling mentally? Because you've talked about that before and all the different things that you can really do to make sure that you're as tuned up and ready to go when the puck gets dropped.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing, you know, I learned was how important my habits are and what I consume, you know, not only food wise, but mentally and what I watch and kind of how I talk to myself. And yeah, I think when I got injured and I didn't, you know, I didn't really have anyone to talk to because I was used to having Landon to hang out with, and he kind of got called up right before that. So yeah, for me, I kind of just told myself that, you know, I want to learn a lot and I want to find some new hobbies. And I listen to a lot of podcasts and things like that. Really just talking about, you know, mental health and physical health and how the two are connected. And, you know, I said, if, you know, if I can do my best in both of those areas, then, you know, I know what I can control. You know, so I really dialed in on those aspects. You know, I set goals and, you know, that's kind of just what I focused on. And I think the biggest thing for me mentally with goaltending being such a mental position is, you know, I left hockey at the rink, and when I came home, you know, I was happy and focusing on recovering and eating, and not focusing on, you know, the next day. And for me, staying present was something that I'd kind of heard from other athletes a lot, but nothing I really understood until I kind of went through that period and how important it is just to stay present and where your feet are. And so, yeah, I would say those are kind of the biggest things that I learned. And this summer's been great too, with, you know, even more free time, you know, dialing in more aspects. And I think it's going to help me even more next season. So I'm really excited.
It's really interesting. Really interesting. Lastly, let's look towards the future. It's been even an exciting summer. We had a couple of coaching hires here in Rockford and in Chicago as well. A lot of excitement around the 2025 draft. How are you feeling as a big piece of this organization and what it seems like is being built to the not so distant future? It seems like things are really on the cusp of turning into a lot more wins and a lot of success.
Yeah, I think obviously there's a lot of change this summer. You know, it starts with the head coach in Rockford and getting Jared Nightingale. He's a guy that you know, I played for him my first season in Rockford, and we developed a great relationship. I knew him a little bit previously as well, and yeah, he's a guy I know that's going to push everyone to make everyone better. And you know, it's great having former players that you know, understand the game and understand what it's going through. And yeah, Jared's a guy that, you know, every time I've played for him, he's a coach that, you know, I want to play hard for, and I want to do my best every night when he's behind the bench. And yeah, it's just obviously just such a tremendous hire. And then yeah, with Blashill coming with the Blackhawks too. I haven't got to know him yet, but I've heard some things around the league and good things about him. And yeah, I think it's just a lot of excitement within the organization with a lot of change. And yeah, I'm looking forward to obviously getting to know, you know, all the new faces and stuff. And kind of like I mentioned, it's just, yeah, it's a lot of excitement. And you know, with that is going to be you know, another level of work ethic within everyone in the organization, and we're all pulling the rope in the same direction. So you know, and all want one common goal. So it's going to be excited. Yeah, I'm really excited to get started in September.
Exciting things ahead, and still it'll be here before we know it. Have a Fenway Frank for me over the next couple of weeks if you can, and we'll be waiting for you here in Illinois whenever you get out here.
Yeah, I got to keep those franks to a minimum, but
Yeah, sure.
that sounds like a plan.
You got it. Thanks for taking the time, Mess. Good to see you, man.
Thanks, Dana.